Adobe Acrobat has released a new version of its program, and today we're going to go over an overview of a lot of the new features and where things are. Welcome to the Accessibility Guide channel. My name is Sean Jordison. Please hit that subscribe button. Now let's jump right in. The first thing that I do is launch the new Adobe Acrobat, and I'm opening up a sample file that we can review. The first thing that I want to do is go over the new accessibility features, and what I would start with is a lot of our menu items are now in a different place. One example is the tags panel and other important accessibility elements are all on the far right hand side of the screen. Now if your tags button is missing, you can get it open by right clicking and selecting accessibility tags. Additionally, we have things like our read order panel, we have the content panel, we can update hyperlinks within the file, and we can take a look at the bookmarks. If I go into the tags panel and I try to find a hyperlink, we can right click the link and open up the properties menu. And inside of here, we now have a new field for alternate description for links. This is separate from the alternate text for images. Now, I have found that in this first release, this appears to be a bit buggy and the alternate text is not always accurate. One thing that seems to work though is adding in actual text. Additionally, if we select the menu button and then open up preferences, under the accessibility tab, we now have the option to enable cloud-based auto tagging for accessibility. This is a very powerful new feature that seems to be much better than the old auto tagging. One more area that I want to talk to you about is this new drop down element for a PDF UA compliant document. I select the menu button and then select document properties. On the advanced tab, we have a new accessibility label with the option of PDF UA compliance, and it allows us to select whether or not this is a PDF UA compliant document. The thing is, we can just set that and there's not really any check involved. I like to think that it's Adobe planting some roots for things to come but only time will tell. One thing you may have noticed within this new version of Adobe Acrobat, the page count is now on the far right hand side. Additionally, rotating the document has been moved over to the right hand side and zooming in and out. Under the All Tools menu, we have the option to view more, and there's many different tools in here. A lot of them have new names. That appears to be the biggest adjustment that's happened. Additionally, if we select the edit button, we now have all of our editing tools in a single place. I actually like that they removed some of the tools because this is much easier to manage. One example of that is the Organize Pages button. It's clearly right here under the edit. We can crop, we can rotate pages, delete pages, and extract pages too. Finally, we can add things like text to the document. We can add an image, we can add a header and footer, a watermark, or other links. Additionally, we can redact from the PDF, prepare a form, or combine files, all from this simple edit menu. They've also done a refresh on this quick access toolbar, which you can customize to include things that you do all the time. So something that I'm going to add in right away is probably the accessibility full check, and I'm going to select save. And now my accessibility checker is right there, and I can run an accessibility check on this document, which also appears in the right hand side now. And in here I only have a couple of problems according to the checker. That concludes today's video on Adobe Acrobat's new facelift. As always, I can be your personal accessibility expert. Check out the links below this video to see how I can help you in any of your accessibility needs. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.